so today is, excuse me, September 17th. This is actually our second 6th District Community Forum. After this meeting, I have talked to a few people. What we're going to do, instead of just putting it out there for everyone in the district to join in, we're going to start tackling these meetings precinct by precinct and involving you with your, not only myself, but with your precinct committee members, so you can have access to that individual as well as to the special guests that are invited to these meetings as well. Okay? Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
I got a lot of people here that are muted. I know. Everyone's calling all of a sudden. All right, let's give them just a little bit more time to get logged in because everyone's muted. I don't want to move ahead. 1, 2. Oh, that's a lot of people muted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And someone else joining you. Okay. Today, or tonight, I'm sorry, we have 2 special guests. One is Ms. Ola Moores. She is with the Federation of Block Clubs. We are behind on this, but we're going into the fall. So this information can still be valuable for us. Once we come out of the spring, you'll have the contact during the fall and the winter, so we can establish your block clubs. So that once the spring comes out, we can have everything ready for us to start with the community Love Your Block and keeping our area together as far as blight. The second individual is, of course, the executive director of the executive director of code enforcement. All right, and her name is Mildred Glenn. So you might want to write that down. Mildred Glenn, executive director of code enforcement. Okay.
Can I interject for 1 second? I like to be called Millie. For some reason, I just don't like the name Mildred, but that was the name I was given. But Millie, I would appreciate it.
Okay, Millie Glenn.
Thank you.
The executive director of code enforcement for the city of Dare.
Hi, Miss Glenn.
Hi, how you doing?
It's Faye Barnes. We talked a lot.
Give me 1 second. Yes, Michael. I can. Okay. Want to leave? All right. Also, Brandon Hinkle, he is your 6th District Code Enforcement Officer. He and I communicate quite a bit along with Millie, and we try to get things done as far as your concerns, as far as violations and codes you feel, infractions that are affecting your neighborhood. All right. He is currently on, but he is muted.
What's his name?
Brandon Hinkle. Can somebody, Millie, can you? Okay.
Good evening.
Brandon, you there? Okay, great.
Good
Okay.
evening.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good evening.
This is
Good
Brandon
evening.
Hinkle. He is your 6th District Code Enforcement Officer.
I also wanted to just add in for the Morningside area. I have Inspector Robert Brinston as well, working in the 6th District for the Morningside area.
Okay.
Robert
Brinston.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did everyone get that information?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't mind you calling me because pretty much I'll do my best to get out and take care of concerns. But in the chain of how the information is passed down to get the results that you need, I usually go through Millie and Brandon, mostly Millie, and then Millie will send what my needs to Brandon, and Brandon will come out and take a look at you. Okay.
Correct.
So I guess at the end of the Zoom, Millie will share you her email address.
Correct.
Okay. Everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the gentleman up top with the, is that a gentleman or he's muted? 889-898-095. She's just looking. She's not a, yeah, she's very, okay. All right. I am going to pass this on to Ola. Ola?
I'm
Ola.
here. Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Would you like to explain to the residents your position with the Federation of Block Clubs, what you can provide for them, because we are coming to the fall. We may have a little time to do a little bit with the Federation of Block Clubs right now, but mostly that'll pick back up during the spring. Okay?
Okay, okay. Thank you, Councilman Williams, for inviting me. I would like for everyone to know a little bit about the Block Club and how the Block Clubs have grown. You know that we're an improvement organization. We're a leg of the Urban League of Northwest Indiana. And we have reached a new level when the Block Club started in 1946. It was the ladies doing the gardens and doing the flower gardens in their yards and what have you. Now you might have one house and 6 blocks of yards because there are no buildings there. So what we're doing now is we're taking block communities and we're improving and repairing where we can. We, as I speak, we partner with many different organizations. And as I speak now, we have partnered with the Audubon, and that's a part of the Wild Indigo. And they're working on the Little Calumet Basin in Marshalltown. Marshalltown was inundated with mosquitoes. They're coming in, they're going to bring in the different birds and things that eat the mosquitoes. They're going to do some improvement in that area. That's what the Block Club is doing now. Those of you who belong to the Block Club, prior to this administration coming in, you had the Citizens League of Citizens, League of Cities, grant money. And we did some improvements there. We're working with the city as we speak now, and they're doing many improvements. I have one of my cohorts, I have a team now. Before I was just doing this all by myself. Now there is a team of us. I have Miss Elisa Spencer. And you know, I don't do a lot of talking, so I'm rushing through this so I don't have to be here long to talk to you. But we do, and Elisa Spencer, when I'm finished telling you what we're doing, I'm going to let her speak if she's here. I don't see her telephone number and I don't know whether she's on or not. But we partnered with the Field Museum, and at one time they gave us trees. There was a time when they would do our rain gardens. We're going to need to know how to work our yards and our gardens to absorb some of the water. We have heavy rainfalls now that we did not have before. We partner with the MS4, that's Brenda Scott Henry. She helps us with our rain gardens and our rain barrels. We also partner with the Marion Health. Let's see, I can't. We have several different associations that we do partner with. So we're trying to be a holistic organization now to improve the city, improve your neighborhood. And we do it by organizing ourselves as a block club. And that block club can seek resources from Elisa Spencer, who is with the Urban League, who is our resource specialist. Elisa's on, I see her now. She's our resource specialist. And that's what we're doing now as a block club. We've stepped up a little other than just doing our own yards and our own gardens. We're trying to improve the city of Gary. And that's by reaching out and going across the street from us, next door to us, and trying to keep those areas nice and clean and pretty so that our property does not go down so bad. Alicia, are you on?
Can you hear me, Ola?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay.
Do you want to, I probably ran through it so fast, I probably forgot something or didn't say something, but you want to let them know what you do now there?
Yes. So I'm the neighborhood resource specialist. My name is Elisa Spencer. I've been in this position since December. I serve as the point person for recruiting, communicating, and engaging the Federal Block Club members on suggested or identifying neighborhood projects. Right now, I do have an opening for one of our neighborhood beautification kit. We give up to $800 in resources to eliminate blight in your area. Did you say something, Ola?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So right now I have one opening where we can give a block club up to $800 in resources to eliminate blight in your area. With those resources, you can provide a rain garden, a flower garden, a community garden, a sitting social, or a beautification interest for your block club area. So that's one of the things that the beautification grant we have been doing since December. Another thing I would like to cover, I would like to encourage our citizens to make sure they sign the application for their census, because that ends on September the 30th, and that's one of the things we're trying to push. Another thing is voting. We want to really encourage our citizens to vote, and we're asking for your help, and I'm quite sure you will. But early voting will be starting soon. And I think Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they have satellite locations. So that will be in effect starting October the 6th. Another thing I would like to cover is we do have rental assistance at the Urban League. We have a couple of openings for that. So if you would like an application on a rental assistant application, you can also call the Urban League. Last but not least, we do a quarterly newsletter, and in that newsletter, we send it out to our block club members, and we try to cover resources that we can help in a lot of different areas. So if anyone would like to get on that list to receive our block club newsletter, and it's so informative, please don't hesitate to call the Urban League and leave your name and number, and we will most definitely get your newsletter out. That would be all.
And may I interject? Oh, I'm sorry, Alicia, I thought you, okay. Go ahead.
I said that's all at this time.
Okay, may I interject? The Urban League number is 887, for those who do not know, 887-9621. You can call there and get myself or Alisa, either one. And please, please vote like your life depends upon it. It probably does.
Yes.
Please go out and vote.
I have a question with regard to that quarterly newsletter that was mentioned by Elisa.
Yes.
Can you tell me whether or not you can receive it even if you do not have a block club?
Yes, that's what I was saying. If you want to get on our mailing list, because right now my database is the block clubs, but if you call and leave your name and number, I will include you on that mailing list. And usually with that newsletter, like I just sent out a bulk mailing with the newsletter, but with that also I sent a list of the precinct committee persons so they can contact them if they don't know where to vote. So it's always other valuable information inside of that packet with the newsletter.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Hey, Elisa.
Yes.
This is Julie. I'm from the Block Club here in Junedale. Got a question for you with regards to, are there programs out there for people who need housing improvements, such as roofs or foundation work?
I can check into that for you.
Okay.
At this time, I'm not for sure because I've never been, that haven't came across my desk.
Okay.
So, but I can check into that for you.
I'd like to know also, I have a pretty bad sidewalk in front of my home, and it's crumbling. It's not one piece of a full sidewalk. It's all in chips and chunks. So it would be helpful to know if there's funding for that.
Great question. I'm with you on that.
Okay, I will check into you because we serve as a resource, and I probably would have to communicate with the city also on that particular item.
Right, that's a city project.
We'll also have that for the street.
Sorry?
Because the streets on like 46.
Okay, on 46 and what?
You hear that person.
May I? I'm sorry. May I ask a question?
Yes.
This is, my name is Aurelia Weaver, and this is my first meeting. I'd like to find out, what do? I need a suggestion as to whom should I report an abandoned house that's next to door to me on the south side of the street, where rodents, garter snakes have been slithering into my backyard property. I'm at a loss. It's been that way for 4 years, and reported it. Nobody seems to have helped me.
That would be, I would contact my precinct committeeman. And Councilman Williams, are you available? I mean, are you here?
Yeah, I'm on the
okay.
line.
Yeah, and I wouldn't let him know.
Okay. And also, let's get that reported the properly way. Again, as I said at the beginning of the meeting, there's an order reporting these things, and if the house is in that kind of a situation, then it's several code violations taking place. So let's start off with code enforcement. Brandon, are you available? I see you're muted. Brandon? Brandon?
I'm here.
Okay. Young lady, this is your code enforcement officer, Brandon Hinkle, I'm sorry. Can you give him your information?
Right.
Hi. You can give me a call. You can give me a call and let me know what area you're in. My number is 805-3246.
805
30. Run by there.
Okay.
I'll run by there. I'll take some pictures and see what violations they have. And then we'll start our investigation.
Everything.
Would we also call Brandon if it's a down abandoned school that's basically a hazard and falling apart?
Hello. This is
okay. I gotta ask one. Everybody speak one at a time. Young lady, on the phone. Can you hold for a second? Yes, you. Young lady is speaking, but prior to her, can you go ahead and say what you were saying to Brandon?
With this, would I also talk to Brandon about like if a school is basically falling apart across from like the houses and stuff like that? Because that's kind of bringing down property value also.
Okay, this is Millie. I just wanted to interject for a second. The way that we basically take the complaints, we have a 311 system, and I've been talking to other people that, have been working with me to help do the flow of code enforcement. Our 311 system is a system where you can call in complaints at any time, since code is not there 24/7. You can call in a complaint at any time and go through the system. And when he comes in the morning time or, throughout the day, he has to check his emails, his voicemails, and his 311s, and he can respond to it quicker. Now, I give them 24 to 48 hours to make some type of response to the complaint, either that he's going to be checking it or what's going to be happening with it. But our 311 system is the way that we kind of want everybody to go through, because like I said, just in case you can't catch that inspector or myself, we get those every day. And that number, of course, is 219-881-1311.
I did that, and it's in the system as of July 10, but nobody called. This is the first time, and I'm elated to know Brandon Hinckley is our 6th District Code Enforcement Officer, because I never knew that. I just kept getting, no one called me, but I did follow that procedure and report it to the 311 system. It's in there.
So if you could just let him know, because you should get a ticket number every time you call the system, you can follow up. And anytime that Brandon goes in there, he's supposed to check it where it'll get a response or a message back to the caller. That's if you've given your information. If you're anonymous, of course, you won't get any response back. But if you leave your name and number, when he goes in there to respond to any of the tickets, it's supposed to go back to the constituent to let them know what the status of it is. But if you haven't heard anything within a certain amount of time, I'll say within 2 or 3 days, then you can give him a call and ask him.
Give me a call when you get this message.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. You can just give him a call and give him the ticket number to make sure he receives that. Because sometimes those tickets go to the wrong department. Like if you depend what your complaint is, it might not even come to code enforcement. If it's something dealing with trees or something like that, it might go to general services and not get to us. So like I said, within 24 to 48 hours, if you don't get a response from him or myself, then you can call, give the ticket number, and then he can go through it and then pull that ticket and then go out and investigate it.
Well, since I've got Brandon on the phone, is it possible I can just directly go through him? Because I've done that so many times, it's kind of a frustration.
Well, we want to keep track of the calls. So basically, this is a way to keep track of, because say like if you call him and he's not in the office to take it down, you can do it both ways. You can call the 311, put it in the system, and then call Brandon to see if he followed up on it. But we just want it in the system so we can be able to keep track of it.
I understand that, and I respect rules and regulations. But since I got Brandon on the phone, you know, because we're getting kind of tired of scraping up dead rats that are on the sidewalk, snakes that are slithering through, cactus-type plants that are sticking to, if you pass by it, it sticks to your clothes. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous. And it's
the thing is, code enforcement, we go out and we cite the properties. The quicker way to do it sometimes after we do a cite, because we have to go through a process that we go through, you can also put a ticket in, like I said, and if it involves another department like general services or someone like that, then it can also go to them as well. That's why I said just calling Brandon. Sometimes Brandon is the only one that, well, as far as in citing the property. But as far as a cleanup, the code enforcement don't go out and clean up. We cite the constituents or who are responsible for the responsible party for the property.
That's the crazy part about it. I went out to Lake County Federal County Building and got paperwork to see who owns the house. No one owns it. The former property, I mean, no one owns it.
Right. So then we have to go through a procedure, and then we go through the law department, and we have to take it to the court. The court would then give us the city authority to go in and clean up the property and then attach the fees to the property taxes. So there's a process that we have to go through.
I respect that.
You have to go through all of that just to clean up an abandoned building?
Right, because we don't go in and just clean up someone else's property. We have to go through the proper procedures and get the paperwork for it.
I understand that, but it just doesn't make sense. If this was Portage, Hobart, or maybe even Maryville, it'd be done quick, fast, in a hurry.
Mr. Lockett?
Yes, sir.
This is the councilman. How you doing? Actually, they may because they may have more individuals, but they have to follow the same protocol. No one can just step on your property.
I lost you.
Huh?
I lost you.
Okay. No one, regardless of the city, okay, that you reside in, no one can just step on someone's property and start making alterations on that property. They have to go through a certain chain of commands. Otherwise, the city could be sued.
No, I understand all of that, but the lady clearly stated that no one owns the property. If no one owns the property,
someone owns that property.
Every piece of property in Gary. Every piece of property is owned by someone.
Somebody owns that property.
We just have to go to the proper channels before we can go onto the property.
Okay. All right. And I can honestly say code enforcement done a good job for me last year when I reported something through 311. But the other departments, absolutely garbage.
Would code enforcement assist if there's illegal dumping, and let's say you know who did the dumping, you have their information, phone number, and all of that? Is that something that, I guess you can go through 311, but
yes, well,
I mean, I have the information.
Most of the time for the dumping, we would like for you all to call us directly if that dumping is going on at that time between the hours of 8:30 and 4:30. If it's after that time or before that time, we need you all to call the police department, because the police department also gets involved, and then they'll dispatch me and let me know that there was a dumping in that area the next day when I get in.
Okay. All right.
So the dumping we want people to actually call the police department or call us direct if they see someone dumping at that time. And we also ask the constituents not to approach anyone, but get as much information as you can. What we say is, if you see something, say something. Get a plate number, take a video, take a picture. Just let us know, because, like I said, we can't be everywhere at one time. So we would like the constituents to be able to be our eyes and ears as well. Like I say, I have people calling me all the time, telling me, I got this person over here dumping. Then we could go out there and we could catch them. And like I said, if it's after hours, the police department is supposed to respond to those calls. And also, we go through the garbage. When we go out there, we go through the garbage and see what we can find.
What telephone number should we be calling?
For the non-emergency, for the dispatch is 660-0000. Even if you can't get us, you can still call that number and dispatch will call me.
May I say something? I feel like I'm in a classroom. I need to raise my hand.
Sure, go ahead.
Because this is like I said, my first time. I was, as I said, able to get a ticket put in, and this talking about the property, but I'm looking at a bigger picture that I need to let you know, Councilman Dwight Williams, since I'm part of your constituency. For several years, where we live, it's called the dead zone. 455 West 53rd Avenue, west of Madison to the end of the block. The houses that are on the south side of the street fell into a dead zone. Even though we pay property tax to the city of Gary, we could not get the police department, all of the services, police, ambulance, cleaning the streets. The only thing that we were able to have was garbage pickup. So while Karen Freeman Wilson was still in office, I complained nicely, and finally got an opportunity to sit in on a council meeting with all of the heads. I don't necessarily call it a council meeting, but all of the heads were kind enough to allow me to give them all of the addresses on this south side of the street, because when calling the ambulance one time for my husband, while he was unconscious, I'm fighting back and forth between Gary and Maryville, saying, no, I'm sorry, this is Maryville. I call Maryville 911, no, I'm sorry, that's Gary. And that's the same thing with the police. But again, garbage pickup was the only thing that we were able to receive. Any shoveling of the snow, they would only go on the north side of 53rd. The south side, we would have to shovel out ourselves. Sweeping or street cleaning, only the north side. The south side, we would have to do it ourselves. So we are now hopefully, because the database was updated with all of our addresses, we're in there. But the problem is that June 10th or July 10th ticket that I put in, I still had to convince the lady, because according to her database, whatever she was going through, she said, I'm sorry, ma'am, you're Maryville. And that's not the case, because for years we pay property tax with Gary. So I'm wondering, by their not responding to me every time I call in, do they just chuck it and say that's Maryville? So I would appreciate it, sir, if you could check just to make sure that my address, which will hold true with all the rest of them that I gave to that meeting, is listed as Gary instead of Maryville.
Okay. I can tell you this much. I have had this conversation with several other residents, and we have, I've talked to our city attorney, Trent Payne, and we're still trying to break through that situation. It's not, I know it's not just you, it's several other residents. They view you as Maryville. You get a lot of benefits from being viewed as Maryville that the other individuals that live probably across the street from you or around the block from you that are viewed as Gary don't. But we're still trying to get that consolidated. I will follow up with that again tomorrow and Monday with the city attorney to see where we are with that.
Well, we pay property tax. The house is Gary. Walk in the backyard towards the back fence, that is Maryville. Mm-hmm. But the house is Gary.
Right. Okay.
And Councilman Williams, along with Miss Aurelia's complaint, there are those of us who live in the 700 to 800 block of West 52nd Place. And It's almost like we're the bald-headed stepchildren that don't exist. We're in that precarious zone as well. The county says we are Gary, but everything else says we're Maryville. So I would ask that you add the 700 to 800 block of West 52nd Place to your inquiry.
May I ask you a question? What is your zip code?
Sure.
Zip code is 46408. Crazy enough, my driver's license is 46410. I am on the voting registration for the past 26 years where I vote at Glen Park Academy.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm Gary.
Yeah, you are. What does it say on your license?
No.
What does it say on your license?
45.
Oh, your zip code.
On my license, it says 46410 Maryville. And we kept fighting with the bureau, the driver's license place. They said, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. Our database shows Maryville. But I said, no, we're Gary. But they printed it out as Maryville. So when I take my driver's license to Glen Park Academy, there's never been any question to be said, you know, ma'am, I'm sorry, you're in Maryville. I just show them my driver's license and I go behind the curtain and vote.
Correct. And some 28 years ago, when we purchased our property, the zip code initially was 46408. We received notification through the U.S. Postal System that we were now Maryville, and the zip code is 46410. We're in the same position.
Same position. Okay.
I do know that Glen Park Academy and School is the zip code is 46408.
Yes,
sorry, not the Glen Park School, I'm Longfellow.
Well, as she said, we vote at the Glen Park
Academy.
Yeah, right. That, as long as you do your census for Gary, we're good.
Right.
No, but we need more than that, okay?
He has no problem taking our taxes, you know, property taxes.
Yeah, that's a mess.
I'd like to get a couple questions in, if possible.
Thank you.
Okay.
This is Herbert Osborne, and I'm with the West 51st Avenue Juneville Club. And I've got two questions. The first question is on code enforcement. Well, no, first is 311. Is 311 generated by voicemails, or is there actually a person there?
They have a 311 app, and they also have an actual person during the daytime that actually answers the phone.
Ma'am, I've been calling for months. Before the administration changed, I was able to get somebody. Now I'm unable to get anybody.
They just found someone. We have a young lady now that sits at the desk and takes all the 311 calls because the young lady that was there before, she is now retired.
Okay. Now my second question is code enforcement. I filed a complaint about a house across the street from me. Code enforcement came out. I live at 5115 Washington Street. Code enforcement came out and looked at the property. That's been months. That was even before COVID. Nothing has been done. And today, the guy that owns the property sent trucks there to dump in a dumpster. It's like a dumping site. And I don't know what he's dumping in that dumpster. But I mean, I'd like to get some relief from this. I mean, code enforcement need to do something with that.
Okay, like I said before, we would have to, that's probably on the police side, but I can go out tomorrow myself and take a look at that. What was that address again?
I live at 5115 Washington, and I don't know. I really don't remember the number, but it's directly across from 5115 Washington.
Across? Okay.
Directly across the street.
Well, sweetheart, while you're out, can you drop by 423 West 53rd Avenue? That's the abandoned house, just to look at it.
423 West 53rd?
Right. My address is 455 West 53rd Avenue, and it is the house east of me.
Okay.
Right next door. You can't miss it because you can't hardly see the house.
Okay. I will do that tomorrow.
I appreciate it. Your name is Elisa?
No, my name is Millie.
Millie, I'm sorry, Millie. You're the executive director.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
And Aurelia.
Speaking on abandoned houses, I got one across the street from me.
Step on some folks to get up. You want to talk? Hey, Millie.
Yes.
The address for that Herb Osborne referenced is 5110 Washington.
Told me before.
5110 Washington?
Yes,
okay.
right at the corner of 51st Avenue in Washington.
Okay.
Millie, when you come by, before the house was just sort of like just dissipated into ownership, there was a bank that gave me permission to park my truck in the driveway. So when you pass by, if you see a black truck, that's me. Because
and that's at what address? The 423?
That is correct, Millie.
Okay.
Okay.
And Aurelia.
And I'll move the truck.
Aurelia.
Huh?
This is Faye, and I like to say I've talked personally. I worried Miss Millie to death earlier, probably in July, and she actually took care of the problem. She came out personally, and there was what's that? Trailer parked on the vacant lot next to me, some cars, and they really worked together and got that taken care of. So
I can just tell by her voice of her dedication. So I appreciate.
Yes.
I appreciate you talking up and giving her flowers.
I thank you, and I appreciate that.
Can I say something before I leave? If you go around looking at things, go to the 43rd block of Johnson Street. That block is completely destroyed. All through the alley, all the houses is terrible. It is horrible there.
We did. We were out on the 39 through 41 through 42, 43. We went out last week, and yeah, Brandon has a lot of properties that he has to do citations for. So we were out there last week.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Something.
So
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
My name is Cheryl Hadley. I'm at 52nd and Van Buren. And since you're on the subject of abandoned homes, there's one across the street from me. It's 52, I think it's 49 Van Buren Street. And it needs attention.
Okay, we'll take a look at that as well.
Also,
thank you so much.
Okay. Also, I have some other concerns for in the neighborhood.
Okay.
One is there's a lot of shooting going on the bike trail at night. We've asked for more police patrolling the area, and we just don't see it. And we believe if we had more police patrolling this area, they would be less apt to go on that bike trail and start shooting. Another issue that has been brought to my attention by my neighbors is on the corner of 52nd and Harrison. We noticed that we believe that the people are there's drug activity going on over there.
52nd and Harrison?
Guys, they walk across the street from Tipperine Trails. They stand in the bus stop. A car come and want to get in the car with them, drive around the block and drop him back off. We've watched where it was 6 or 7 cars do this at a time. So, you know, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out what exactly is going on around here.
Okay.
That's 52nd place at Harrison.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a police issue. We can't get involved in anything like that, but I would definitely bring that up to the chief of police or send an email to the police department.
Okay, on that and the
have you put this in our 311 system?
No.
Regarding that?
No.
Okay, do me a favor, tomorrow call and put that in the 311 system.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay?
Okay,
thank
we'll
you.
do. Another issue is the streets around here.
Oh, thank you.
The streets are terrible, potholes. My granddaughter drove into one of them, messed her tire up. She had to go and buy a new tire. One of the issues is when they did the streets about 15 years ago, we had a big drain. When they redid the street, they pulled a big drain out, put a smaller drain in there. And since then, whenever we get a substantial amount of rain, this streets floods. That's not only a safety issue, but it's also a hazard. I've had people to drive across my lawn just to avoid the flooded street.
And that's whether it's an extended rain or a flash rain that happens.
Yeah.
And we've reached out to the previous administration as well as the current one. So Councilman Williams and Millie and whomever else, we would appreciate some attention given to this area.
Also, in 46, I've been here since 2005 and the street has not been fixed once, and it is getting worse and worse.
Do me a favor. If you're calling from your cell phone, before you give me your concern, state your name and your address, because everyone else that's on Zoom, I can see who you are, but the ones that are calling from their cell phone, all I see is your phone number. Okay?
I wanted to ask also, I have a business on Broadway, on 47th and Broadway, and on the north of me is an address, 4750. Used to be some type of office building, but it has dumping, constant dumping, and the dumping is now creeping into my lot.
Is that the old urologist?
Yeah, that center there, and
give me one second, guys.
Really bad.
Julian.
Yes.
Hey, I'm sorry, brother. Can you take the address that Desiree is going to give you really quick and let me know who owns that building?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, it's 4750 Broadway. The back part of that building, someone, I don't know who it is, but it must be the same person or group of persons are constantly dumping. It's at a point now where the weeds have begun to shroud the dumping, and it's just a problem. On the back side, the street that's back the backside of that of Broadway is Washington. Most of the homes on that block dump their trash in the alley. And when I say dump it in the alley, bypass the garbage container for whatever reason, and the trash is all about. It's just on the street. I go back every day and I clean up what I can. And I don't understand it, how all the businesses on the Broadway facing side don't seem to have trash, with the exception of that building, but the homes on the Washington side have just, it's just terrible. I've even had someone who have thrown boxes of raw chicken out there and let it sit over the weekend, and just throw it on the ground. And I don't know if it's rodents, but I would be hard pressed to believe that a rodent can know which homes to target year in, day out, open the garbage can and selectively take things from just that street alone. So that's a real big problem. I'm fortunate that it hasn't crept into my facility, but I would imagine that there are many rodents running around there because of the food that's on the ground.
That food is coming from which establishment?
It's coming from the homes right behind my facility, right behind 4750. I don't know if the people who own those, if they're homeowners or renters, but it seems to be very poorly kept, and they allow the children to manage the garbage disposal, and it's just horrible.
And give me the address of your building again.
Mine's is 4760 Broadway. At 4750 behind that building, it's dumping going on in the back. And I also believe that there's a squatter living in there now. They've broken all the windows out, removed whatever was boarded up. They removed all of the board up, and now the glass is all broke. And I own the lot just adjacent to it, which is vacant. But I do my best to keep it clean and mowed. But what comes out from the second story windows is often glass. The roofing tiles are falling, and then there's dumping going on in the back. And I have seen an individual run out of there on his bike, and he may live in there. I don't know.
Okay, Desiree, what's your day look like next Tuesday? Next week?
I'll be there because I'll be teaching a class. So I'll be there. I can be there. I'm teaching at 12:30, but I can be there earlier.
Okay. Let's say about noon. It shouldn't take us long. So I'll meet you there at noon.
Okay, I'll be there.
Okay.
Hey, Dwight?
Yes, sir.
I just sent you the information.
Oh, you did? Thank you.
Councilman Williams.
Yes.
My name is Lauren Hamer, and I live adjacent to Cheryl Hadley on West 52nd Place. She's at 52nd and Van Buren, and she recently sent a letter to Mayor Prince with regard to those issues that she has initially brought to you. So there is a record of our concerns. I don't know, Cheryl, if you wanted to continue, because you kind of been like placed on the back for that. Cheryl Hadley?
Yes.
He's here. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Councilman Williams, do you have an email address? How will we be able to contact you?
You know what? A lot of times, so I'm having some problems right now with my city address. Let's try it anyway. D. Williams.
Okay.
Or D. Williams. At Gary.gov.
At Gary.
.gov.
Okay. D as in David. WMS or
WILLIAMS.
Okay.
My campaign email address is still pretty accurate, so I still give that out if you like that. And I check that every day. You can send it to there as well.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
It's all lowercase, the letter I,
Okay.
the word like, L-I-K-E.
Okay.
My first name, Dwight, D-W-I-G-H-T.
All right.
.Williams
Okay.
@gmail.com. I check that every day as well.
gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And again, if you're going to send me anything that you feel that should be going to code enforcement, the same thing I do with Millie when I send her something, or Rachel, I send them photos to the email,
Yes,
so I can have a good idea of what I'm going to look at before I get there. Please
Right.
do that as well.
I have photos.
Okay.
Thank you. But I look forward to seeing Millie tomorrow. I'll stay around all day just so I can see somebody coming over there.
You can see Millie?
Yes, I will be over there.
Okay.
And just to let you all know, today, this week, the city has been out in the 6th district. They did the Junedale area. They were on 50th, of course, all the way from 43rd up to 53rd. My team was over there today. We had court yesterday, but my guys were out there today. So if you've seen people, some inspectors out there tagging vehicles, they were also citing properties that had violations.
I saw them out there. They cleaned up.
Right, and I'd like to say thank you. The city came by and patched up holes on 53rd Avenue, our block. So we're very appreciative.
Yeah.
I have a question for Millie and Mr. Hinkle about having the businesses on 49th and Broadway, especially on the south side, maintaining their property. That pizza place right there on the corner, Amia Pizza.
Maya's Pizza.
What is it?
Maya's Pizza.
Maya. Okay. Well, they get enough business, but they don't cut their grass. They don't maintain their lot. So how difficult is it to get them to maintain their property?
Well,
Millie,
like they were out there today. So what I had the guys do is make sure that they hit the Broadway, the businesses. So I'm not sure if Brandon can ask you if he was able to get to that one today to let them know. But like the gas station across the street, I definitely had him to go over there, and I rolled past that today, and it did look better than it did the other day because I was out working late the other day, and I was in the Glen Park area, and I worked until about 6, almost 7 o'clock, going up and down some of the streets and the alleyways. So, like I say, we were out there today. They'll also be out there tomorrow.
And we certainly appreciate you doing that, Millie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Dwight Williams?
Yes.
This is Nina. I'm on my cell phone.
Okay.
Okay, in our alley in the 4600 block of Pierce, when it rains, it's like a big hole in the alley, and we've been traveling through this big hole for longer than that. For a couple of years now, and it's rusting out the bottom doors of my car. And I was just seeing, is it possible to get gravel or something put in there?
Yes.
That hole?
Yes, it is. It's got to contact General Services. That's again, put the, like she said, call 311, put the order in. I'll stop by. Give me your address again.
4640 Pierce Street.
4640 Pierce.
Yeah, but it's up. Yeah, it's in this alley, but going towards 47. So you'll see it by the house on the end of the alley.
When will you be available next Tuesday?
I don't get off work till 4:30.
4:30. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll give you my cell phone number. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Area code. This is my personal number. 312.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
342. 6695.
Okay.
Give me a call. I'll come by. I'll take some photos of it. I'll personally send that to our General Services, see if I can get somebody to come out there and take care of that.
Okay,
thank you so much. Number again, sir, please.
Area code 312.
Yes, sir.
342.
Yes.
6695.
6695. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Okay. All right. Desiree, I got you. I'll be seeing you Tuesday at noon. Right? Desi?
Yes. Uh-huh.
I'll be seeing you Tuesday at noon.
Great.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
I'll make sure I get everybody.
Williams?
Yes.
This is Leola Tucker. I live next door to Lauren Hammer and Cattle Corner to Cheryl. I just want a little bit more clarification because I had to get off the, Zoom for a minute to handle some work stuff regarding the dividing line of Gary and Maryville. Because as one lady, I think it's Aurelia, has stated that
Yes.
when you go to the DMV, they say this is Maryville where we live at.
Right.
And also when I went to apply for my passport and I asked the lady, was this because only Maryville residents could apply for a passport in their police department. And when I said my address, I was just waiting on her to turn. She said, no. I said, you're not turning me around. She said, because you're Maryville. Then when you call the state of Indiana, they say my address, 710 West 52nd Place, 4610 is Maryville, Indiana, not Gary. So I said, well, we're paying our property taxes to Gary. She said, I don't know what's that about, but in the state of Indiana, you're considered Maryville. And there needs to be some type of resolve in that. Because
well, I immediately jumped on top of this that situation because I knew the census was coming up, and I really wanted the money to be allocated. If you do live in Maryville, then of course your census dollars should go to Maryville. But the way it's set up right now, most of the individuals that I've been talking to, you're Gary residents, but your address is saying Maryville. So even when you complete your census, your dollars are not coming to Gary; they're going to Maryville. So we're trying to get a hold of that.
You know what? You go to the license bureau, they say that you're Maryville. I've called downstate. Downstate say we're Maryville.
Mm-hmm.
And my census form, as you stated, says Maryville. But right. I don't want to be paying no property tax to the wrong city because Gary property tax are much higher than Maryville.
I understand.
Okay.
But the Lake County,
I'm pro Gary, but I don't, it's just not fair.
Okay.
However, the Lake County auditors out in Crown Point, when I went out there, the woman checked my property and she said, no, you're Gary. So as I stated earlier, some more than 28 years ago, they sent us notification that although our previous address and zip code showed Gary 46408, that it was being changed to Maryville 46410. So we're like Aurelia and some others who are in that precarious ghost zone. Like, I don't know how they drew boundaries here. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm a Chicagoan by, birth before I got married and moved here. However, they haven't resolved that issue, even with calling 911. Mm-hmm. They don't know. I mean, they say, okay, we'll send the Maryville police. Oh, no, we'll send the Gary police. And it's like, just send the police.
Yes, because in case of emergency, a lot of times time is of the essence. Mm-hmm. And we have to fight with this on a continuous basis. And like I say, downstate, they have us listed as Maryville. So right. Like Ms. Tucker say, this issue needs to be resolved.
And also, I thought it was resolved because, again, I sat in with the previous administration head folk, the police, the general services, and I gave them, per their request from that former mayor, I gave them all of the addresses of the lived-in houses on the south side of the street, and they assured me that they had gone into the database and put those addresses to be listed as Gary. So I thought it was taken care of.
I have a Gary address, but I have a Maryville zip code, 46410.
That's right. The problem. That's the problem right there.
We're talking database for the 911 that they claim that now 911 for the police, the ambulance, it will automatically go to Gary. Yes, my driver's license still shows Maryville 46410, but I was mainly interested in the services that need to be provided for the people on this side because we paid property taxes.
That's right. That's right.
And as recent as this past Sunday, I called 911 because there was a car that had been abandoned on the street in front of my home. And I explained to the 911 officer that it wasn't like a life or death situation. However, I couldn't see into the car. It was dark outside. And I would like to know whether or not they could send a courtesy patrol car to see what was going on with that vehicle. As it turned out, there were 2 separate Gary Police Department SUVs that showed up to inspect it. And I was able to speak to the officers. I thanked them for responding within 7 minutes. And they checked the car that was empty. It appeared to be oil underneath the car because I saw them with their lights shining and all of that. And they actually got out of their vehicles to check the car, looked underneath it, and then they came to me and stated, there's no one in there. Of course, I was told by the 911 person, don't go outside your house. Don't go look for anything. And I was like, don't worry, I'm not going out. Nonetheless, as it turns out, in speaking to the officers, they say, call us, call 911 whenever this issue happens because you don't know what these people are doing. However, they stated, whenever you can talk to the mayor, let them know that all we need is cars. We need patrol cars because they don't have a lot of, I guess, vehicles available to patrol areas. So, Councilman Williams, you got your work cut out.
And the only patrol cars I see come down our street is Maryville.
That's true.
We never get our street clean.
No, we don't.
I've been here, almost 10 years. I saw the street sweeper 2 times. It shocked me.
I've not seen them ever.
Well, I saw them 2 times. And another thing is that now my husband and I had an incident where somebody broke our front door. We called 911. As someone stated, it went to Maryville. Maryville was like, well, technically you are Gary, but you are us. And it took the police 45 minutes to come. And thank God it wasn't no murder or anything. By the time they came, I told them the dead body was in the backyard and I buried it. That's how long it took. And I think that's crazy. But, you know, it is what it is. And I understand the lack of resources and the lack of whatever. My only issue with this street is, and coming from Miller to over here, is that there's just no, it's like we like in a island with no help. And as Lauren just stated, that car, it'd be a lot of cars be parked here sometimes. Sure, remember one year we had cars that were just parked for 2 or 3 days. And then they come, I don't know if they in a love triangle with somebody at Timber Run Trail, or is this a drug issue or whatever, but Timber Run Trail is horrible. And my neighbor, when she called the police one time, we didn't get no local law enforcement. We got the sheriff's office and the state police when her alarm was going off. So it's just like a little confusing to me, you know, where do I live at? But I want to just say this, and then I'm going to be finished. When I commute downtown, and I was talking to this white gentleman one day. He lives in Cherville, but has a Crown Point address like us. So I said, well, who? He said, well, they say we are part of Crown Point, but I live in Cherville. I guess his taxes go. The state of Indiana need to be shaming themselves. Tell us where the dividing line is at. So we're not the only people who are going through this, you all. There are other Dyer and Cedar Lake, because I've heard you know, just listening to people on the train talking about it, I'm like, wow, that's weird because we're in the same thing. Now, right on the other, we're on the, what would be called the east side of Timberline Trail. And on the west side of Timberline Trail, it's 52nd place is Maryville.
Okay. For the residents that live, you do live in Gary on 52nd. The cutoff for Gary is actually 53rd. So if you live on 52nd, you are considered a resident here. But the way the system is set up, if you dial 911, you're going to get the operator from the dispatch from Maryville. So you will probably get a Maryville car to come out there. You may get a county car to come out there. You may get a state Indiana State Police car to come out there. It depends on the officer that's dealing with the dispatch call and how they're going to relocate the call for response. Some may put it right to Gary, or they may tell you to call the Gary number. But most of the time, if you call the Gary number, it's going to send you straight to the dispatch in Maryville. So if you live in Gary and you call the Gary dispatch, yes, you will get the Gary dispatch. And it's supposed to be that all the way through because 52nd is considered Gary. So we got to work with that with the chief of police to get that straightened out. But as I said, anything after the 52nd block is considered Maryville. So that's why some of your calls are tapering off to Maryville system, and you have the Maryville police coming as well as the county. And it also depends on where you live at. I myself, I live on West 47th Avenue. West 47th Avenue is considered county road. So if I call 911 from my landline, it's going straight to Maryville. So I'm going to get a county car to respond to my call. So it does have a lot to do with your address. All right.
Oh yes, and that's definitely an issue that needs to be taken care of immediately because again, like I said, illnesses or injuries, a lot of time is of the essence. We've been on the phone 911 and literally had to argue with the dispatchers on the phone. In the meantime, the person that needs the ambulance could be dead.
True that. Now, also because they centralized the 911 calling, we were assured by the previous administration when we attended in person 6th district meeting that they were going to speak with the centralized dispatch, 911 dispatch, to clarify the areas. So while Tiburon Trails receives all the time sheriffs, the county sheriff, Maryville police, I can't tell you which fire departments go there so often, but it just needs to be clarified so that we are not left in this lurch to get service.
Okay. Duly noted. I took that down.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but the same thing with the 400 block West 53rd, 500 block West 53rd. This, as I said, was known as the dead zone. And I thought it was clarified by my sitting in on that meeting. They said that they put them in the database so that our addresses are shown as Gary for all of the 911 services. Okay. But I would appreciate it, Councilman Williams, if you would check on that.
I will.
Yeah, because I thought we were like the last street of Gary and the first street of Maryville when they started to build out this area. So just, you know, I don't care what you call me, ABC with a zip code of 777. Right. Let's make sure we get proper services. Thank you, Councilman Wood.
That was my whole issue because, as I said, to sit on the phone with the ambulance while my husband was unconscious, trying to tell them, I don't care where you come from, just get here. But it was frustrating because Gary was saying, ma'am, I'm sorry, you need to call Maryville. I hung up and dialed 911, Maryville, you know, or they connected me with Maryville. And we went back and forth for begging for an ambulance to come to the house.
And that's ridiculous.
Yes, it is. The same thing with the police. Somebody paintballed my car when I called 911. I got the Maryville police and they said, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. Your address is Gary. We'll connect you to Gary. I got Gary. I'm sorry, ma'am. You need to talk with Maryville. That's frustrating. Very frustrating. But again, the precipice for all of this, the precedent that's set is for 28 plus years, we paid property tax in Gary. I voted in Gary all the time. So I'm Gary, and you can't get rid of me.
Yes, ma'am, you are Gary. You are Gary.
That's right, and don't you forget.
I won't.
I'm Ronnie Robinson.
How you doing, Ms. Robinson?
Hey, how you doing? I spoke to you a long time ago, like back in July. I've called about my street, 41st and Jackson, on the entry. I've been trying to get that area cleaned up on both sides of the street, about 10 feet on each side of the street. I've been calling in since 2016. I got a reference number in 2018. I have not had anybody to come out and see about this. And I've called all this year. I still haven't had any result.
Okay. You said Ronnie Jackson?
41st and Jackson on the entry is a one-way street going south.
You got a lot of echo. Are you talking on your computer?
No, I'm talking on my cell phone.
Cell phone? Okay, dial down the volume a little bit. Dial down the volume a little bit. Okay, now give me the address again.
41st and Jackson Street, the entry.
Okay.
My address is 4142.
4142.
Jackson.
All right. Did you just join us, sir? Or did you get my cell phone number?
I just joined.
Just joined us?
About a minute ago. And I've been calling since 2018.
Okay. What's your availability for say Tuesday or Wednesday of next week?
I'm all day.
All day? Okay, I got a noon.
I'm all day. I'm retired.
Got a noon and
noon is.
No, I'm just saying that I already have scheduled. Let's see, 30.
What's the young lady's name? Miss Clark, down at the Genesis Services. I didn't talk to her so many times. She know my voice.
Okay. 1 second, I'm trying to stay with you, sir. Give me your first name again.
Ronnie, R-O-N-N-E-Y. Robinson, R-O-B-I-N-S-O-N.
How is 1 o'clock Wednesday? Next Wednesday.
That's fine.
That's fine?
That's fine.
All right, I'll stop by.
But she did a Skype of my area, and the only thing she could do was ooh. I've been calling for over 4 years.
Okay. Well, I would stop by there Wednesday at 1 o'clock and take a look at the situation and get it documented. Hello?
Councilman? Hey, Councilman?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's Julian.
Yes, Julian.
The last meeting you had, the first Zoom meeting you had, I think it was...
Yeah, I heard.
The lady over General Services said she was going to come down 52nd Avenue there on the bike trail with the tiger or whatever it was to clear away some of that brush.
You talking about Rachel Caesar?
Yes.
Okay.
Where are we standing with that? That hasn't been done yet.
Hasn't been done yet? Second. Bike trail. We'll follow up with her tomorrow.
Okay.
Hello? I'll follow up with her tomorrow and find out what that, Julie, and I'll get back in touch with you.
Okay, thank you.
You want her to clean up the brush, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you better hurry up and
cut it back so that's not all creeping onto the ground,
Thank you.
Because the road has narrowed a little bit there because of overgrowth.
Right.
So.
Okay, I will definitely follow with her tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
Did someone just join us? Okay, I guess
Yes.
Who's that? I'm sorry.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Give me 1 second.
My name is Ebony.
Okay, I see you. Yes. Ebony? Hello? Hello?
Can you see me?
I can see you vaguely, yes. What is your concern?
I'm in a car, so that's probably why you can't see me.
Okay.
I just joined in. Someone, my aunt actually told me about the Zoom meeting just now as I was stopping by her home.
Okay.
Okay, I stay in the 45th block of Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
And I had,
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Zoe one is next.
Give me 1 second.
Okay, I hear some.
Hey, your mama saying Zoe.
I know.
Alonzo.
Shirley?
Harrison.
Shirley?
Zoe.
Shirley?
Okay, is that me?
Someone else. She muted herself. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no, I was saying I stay. I believe I spoke with you at the back in the springtime when y'all was out walking around about the lot next to my home.
Okay.
And the abandoned buildings in the back of my home, I believe is homeless. Well, actually, a homeless person standing back there. And what are they going to do for us? Starting to tear down these abandoned buildings.
Okay. Right now, we are still placing. We're working with buildings. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
I couldn't hear you.
Right now, we're working with demolition throughout the city to move several abandoned properties that have been marked for demolition. Give me the address for that building.
It's right in back of 4544 Harrison. That's what I say, but the abandoned house, I don't know. It's on a block. It's behind my home.
But it's in the rear of this building, correct?
Yes.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Okay, everybody wake up. We home. Wait, give me a second. Please.
Hey,
I'm jealous of Dolores Caraway's picture. It looks like she's on an island.
Yes.
the young lady that gave me the information about the abandoned building on behind 4544 Harrison. What's your name? What's your name? Give me your name.
My name is Ebony Young.
All right, Ebony, I'm going to move on to the next day of next week. I can't get everybody on the same day. How about Wednesday? I'll stop by there.
Okay,
How about
great.
Wednesday? I'll stop by there.
Okay, and then I have a Wednesday, preferably mornings.
Or early?
I'm up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So
Yeah, I'm
it'll be
not
around
up
8.
at that time. I am not.
I have children in school, so.
All right, can we aim for later today, like say around let's start at about maybe noon?
That sounds great.
That sounds great?
Yes.
Okay. It gives me time to get my day started. All right, Ebony, I'm gonna give you my phone number. You ready?
Okay, let me grab something to write with. So I have to pull over. Man, look at my personal today. Hey, Nina, are you on? Nina. Nina.
You're good. Yes. Hello?
Nina, can you write the phone number for me?
I sent the phone number. You said Nina, N-I-N-A?
Yes.
Yeah, I sent the phone number right after my question. It's a 3 312 number? I put it in there after my question.
No. I don't have a pen with me. I'm in the car. Yeah. My kids took my pen out of my purse. Okay, I'm gonna walk in the house. Come on, everybody, I got get out.
Hey, Dwight.
I'm gonna go in the house so I can write the number down.
Said she
Yeah.
sent you the number already.
Councilman,
I'm sorry.
She
Yes.
sent it to me.
Yes.
this
Yes.
is Millie.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
have to get off the line for a minute.
I understand.
I'm gonna try to call back if I can to see if you all are still on there. I gotta take care of something right quick.
Okay, I understand.
So if Brandon is still on there, hopefully he can answer some more questions. I don't know if he's still on there, but if not,
still here. Brandon, you still
okay.
here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll call back in a minute. See if you all still on.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Bye bye.
I'll vacuum later. Just don't worry about the crumbs.
Hey, Dwight, Councilman Williams.
Yes, Julie.
The address that she gave, 4544 Harrison.
Yes.
Now the house behind that is actually on Tyler. It's 4551 Tyler.
4551 Tyler.
And incidentally, that's owned by the same gentleman that owns the property that Mr. Osborne was talking about earlier.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
There right now.
That's gonna be a problem.
A problem.
Okay.
Councilman Williams, my name
Yes.
is Sheila Stewart.
How you doing, Mr. Stewart?
Yes. Yeah. I'm at 4217 Van Buren, and right behind me is an abandoned house. It's awful, and you can see it from Jackson Street, but you can't see the house, for the tree has grown up in front of it.
Okay,
So-
same with you. Same with you on Wednesday. I can stop by and I can hear your complaint. I'm going to that young lady's home at noon. How about I come to you at about 1 o'clock?
I'll be at work until 4.
Till 4?
I get home at 4:30
Okay, so then let's make you 4:30.
on Wednesday. Okay.
Okay?
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Williams, this is Aurelia Weaver again. I know Millie has been kind enough to come by tomorrow, but may I please add my name and the abandoned house property to your list, since you're taking names, and I'm home all day next week. You name the day, I'll be glad to be here.
Okay. We're gonna stay with Wednesday. What time are you available? I got noon and 4:30.
I'm here. I'm
You here?
retired, so I'm here.
Okay. 1 o'clock.
Aurelia, Aurelia, last name Weaver, Weaber.
Everybody get out.
Okay.
My address is 455 West 53rd Avenue. The abandoned property address is 423, right next door, east of us, West 53rd Avenue. 423 West 53rd Avenue.
West
Millie,
53rd.
I still want you.
Get her drink.
I'm sorry.
Been all right.
Millie, I appreciate you coming tomorrow, but I just wanted the councilman to have the same information.
Okay, Ms. Weaver, you have my phone number, right?
Yes, 312-342-6695.
Okay, I want you to text me the day of or either the day before, all right? With
Okay.
your name and address, so I'm not at the, I don't have the ability to write everything down. I got very small sheets of paper writing this on. I'm actually moving around just like you guys are. So give me a text or call. Either way, the day before, okay?
Okay,
Or
I'll
the
text
day
you.
of to remind me, all right?
Text you on Tuesday.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Barnes, how we doing?
Hey, Councilman Williams.
Yes, sir. Mr. Lockett?
Hey, do you think you can add me to the list? I know you and we walk the neighborhood, but I got a number of complaints. Do you think you could just add me to the list and come talk to me?
Sure, I can. Wednesday?
What time Wednesday? Late, preferably later. Give me
Let's
a
go
time.
with late. Or what day is best?
Get off work at 3.
What day is best for you? At 3? Let's see. Wednesday got a 4:30.
Anytime after 4:30.
4:30.
No. I said Wednesday. I have an appointment at 4:30 with on 4217 Van Buren. You said you get off work at 3, right?
Okay. Yeah, I get off at 3.
Okay. What time can you make it to your home?
I'll be here. I'll be here at 3. I'll work from home that day.
Oh, you work from home?
Yeah, for that day I'll be in and out. I'll work from home. So
well, I tell you, you have my phone. You have my phone number.
Best.
You have my. Right.
Yeah, I got your number. I'll shoot you a text.
Better yet, call me today. Call me Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening, so we can get this locked in time and everything for Wednesday. Okay.
Okay, that'll work.
Mr. Lockett.
Yes, that'll work. Yeah, can you hear me?
Hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Okay, so call me Tuesday. Yeah, you're kind of going in and out. But if you call me Tuesday, we can set up a date for both.
Okay.
Time for Wednesday.
Okay, I'll give you a call. Yes.
All right.
Councilman Williams, there's a question on the group chat that asks, it came from Veronica Scott. It says, how often do you drive through the 6th district?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't get a chance to respond to that. I drive through the district at least 2 to 3 times a week. Those of you who've seen me more so in the that's why I said I'm always in the district. I'm always moving around.
Yep. Great.
Okay. And again, as I said, you have my personal cell phone number. I will be giving you my city cell phone number. You can reach out to me. Right now, I don't have that phone on me. I used to carry my personal cell phone number, so that's why I'm giving you that number. So feel free to reach out to me on that number. Send me a text or anything else you need of concerns. I'm having I grouped you into a group chat, group text under 6th district. So when I do change that number, you will get a text with that new number. Okay.
Speaking of that, Councilman Williams, what do I need to do to be on the contact list for any future communications?
Correct.
You have my phone number. Just give me a call.
Well, if it hadn't been for Cheryl Hadley, I would not have known of this meeting. So I was wondering how that information was disseminated.
Same thing with me. Had it not been for Dolores Gibson, I would not have known.
It was announced at council meeting Tuesday as well.
Oh, great. I wasn't at the council meeting.
Yeah, I just want to be on your contact list so that I'll know when the next district meeting is. I can be.
So do I.
Okay. Let me pull up my calendar. Hold on 1 second. I'll tell you right away.
Okay.
Every third Thursday.
Here's my pen.
Councilman?
Yes.
This is Janice. It's on October 15th. It's
Thank
the
you,
next
Janice.
meeting. Okay.
Thank you, Janice.
Thank you. Same Zoom number and meeting ID and password?
It's going to be a different Zoom number and passcode. And what I'm going to try to do in the future is when I send you all a robocall, I'm going to indicate the Gary Common Council that you go to the Gary Common Council Facebook page to get the Zoom ID number and passcode, or that you call my phone number. And I'm going to put my phone number on the robocall, and I can get that the information to you as well.
Okay, so when you do a robocall, you need my landline number then, or
yes.
what?
Yeah, I will need that number. And you can call Councilman Williams or myself and provide us with that information, and I'll make sure you get on that list.
Okay, and may I ask myself is who?
Oh, this is Janice, Janice, last name White, and I'm Councilman Williams' legislative assistant.
Rice, R-I-C-E?
White, W-H-I-T-E.
Councilman Williams, did you say that our next meeting was going to be with our precinct committee persons?
What I'm working with Janice is to, because we're sending out a lot of information throughout the district. We're glad that some of you are responding, but it may be easier if we just hit this by precinct by precinct.
Okay.
You know, that way we can make sure we get enough, but we're going to discuss that later. We may not even do it that way. We may just stick with the same plan. So we'll let you know that for sure.
Ms. White, what is your telephone number so I can contact you?
It is 219-777-5588.
That's your cell?
That's the city cell phone number.
Okay, I will contact you and give you my information so I can be on that contact list. I appreciate it.
Great.
Thank
Councilman Williams?
Yes.
Question.
Yes. I'm listening. Ms. Blair?
Yes.
You had a question?
Yes. Who is our precinct committee person for our district?
For your district, I believe that is Edna Lauren.
Okay. You have a number for Miss Edna?
I do, but not on me. You can call me later on and I can text it to you.
I'll call you later.
Okay.
Okay. And I wanted to say why I on the line here, because I'm dropping off shortly as well, to the precinct, to the what's his name? The code enforcement gentleman. I just got a message in front of his name. I don't see his name on
Brandon Hickley?
Brandon Hickley.
Brandon, are you still there?
Are you there?
I'm here.
Mr. Hickley, I want to thank you for doing a marvelous job today in the Junedale community.
I appreciate it. Almost got shot yesterday.
I seen that, and I was like very concerned, but I know the police department had your back. So
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you so
that.
much.
They have been parking there for years, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Dwight, keep up the good work because you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'm out.
Let's see. Look at these chats really quick. Let's see. Yeah, Nina. Can I contact you at the number you gave me? Nina Lawrence?
Yes.
Can I contact you at the phone number you gave me?
Yes.
Thank you. And let me see. There is Ronnie. I got your number too. Ronnie Robinson? Ronnie?
Pay attention, people.
Ronnie? So I'll just take it down. He'll get a call from me.
Councilman Williams, I just want to give you kudos from the date that you were out campaigning on Sunday, May 5th. I made a note on your literature, your campaign literature. You had a car caravan come down our street, honking their horns with signs and everything, letting the neighborhood know that you were running for 6th District Councilman. And as a Chicagoan, born and bred, I wanted to give you kudos for the old school way of campaigning. And I'm holding you to the list that you handed out with your campaign literature.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm working on it my best. As a matter of fact, everyone that's on the chat line right now, the Zoom line, we will be having another car caravan to get the census recognition that we need within our district. Will be Saturday. It's going to start from the 2nd district. We'll connect with the 6th district at about 1 o'clock. It'll be another car caravan with the mayor, the police chief, the fire department. We're going to have a couple of car clubs, the ladies in charge, the Corvette Club. They're riding around with us to try to get the recognition that we need to have the residents turn in those census forms so we can get the money we need, because we just tried to put together for the referendum. The referendum is up to you, it's up to the community. Mm-hmm. The council can say, hey, we like it. We're not voting on it. You are. We are voting on the individual as well, but you're the main vote for that referendum. If it doesn't go through, it doesn't go through. If it does go through, we're going to need those census down.
So is that this Saturday?
This Saturday at noon. We'll be driving through the 6th district.
Okay.
So if you have friends, neighbors, family that Call them. Tell them to finish filling that census out. We need those dollars because those dollars count for the next 10 years. So if it's a low amount of money we're going to be receiving, that's the amount we're going to get for the next 10 years. And if the school systems do happen to fall back into our possession, what are we going to do with that little bit of money? And we got to maintain all of that. We need everyone to turn in those census.
Right.
So please help me out. Saturday, 1 o'clock. Expect to see the car caravans come through the 6th district.
Councilman, this is Shirley. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I'm on 49th in Washington. The last 2 weeks, there have been grass cutters coming through, cutting grass for a couple of abandoned houses. I don't know who has set that up, but we really appreciate it. One of them is 4965. The grass was almost as tall as the house. And the other one, I don't know the address because there were gang members that lived in that house and they set it on fire about 5 years ago. They burned the house down and they've been coming through cutting that house, the grass at that house. And the other house is at the end of the corner. We don't know the address on that house. But whoever set that up, the people on the street greatly appreciate it. And we hope they continue to do it. But the problem is that those houses really need to be torn down. They've been boarded up and people come and they tear the boards down on the house and they've been in and out of the house. During the time a few years ago when they were looking for the women that they thought had been killed and murdered and hidden in those houses, they came through and they tore the boards down and they were looking for these women. And the boards weren't put back up or they were poorly put up. And traffickers been in and out of the house and drug dealers been in and out of the house. And it's really unsafe there are a lot of children on this block, 49th in Washington. And something really needs to be done about those houses. The landlords really they were poor landlords in the first place. And one of the houses, the people that set the house on fire were out of Chicago. And they were really upset with the landlords. And something really needs to be done about those houses. They really need to be torn down. So I don't know how, people can find out who the landlords are, but it's really unsafe and something needs to be done. Like I said, we really appreciate the fact that they're coming through cutting the grass down. They haven't cut the trees down yet, the bushes down. But then in the back of the houses, the alleys are in poor condition and there are big rats running around. So something needs to be done about that. It's really unsafe. I used to go out and do things. Pastor Richard Gray lives right next door to me. And he and I had talked about it, and he had gone out a couple of times. I'm not able to get out now because of my health condition, but he may be a good contact person. He's pastor of Mercy Seat, and he might be able to meet with you and to go out with you or do whatever needs to be done. I can do phone calls and I can do correspondence, but that's the extent of what I'm able to do right now because of my health situation.
I understand. See, the gentleman that's over demolition, his name is Cedric Kirkendall. Can you hear me?
Yes, Cedric Kirkendall.
Kirkendall, yes.
Okay.
If you call down to City Hall, and as they said earlier, we do have a new young lady that's manning our phone system. If you ask to be connected, well, first of all, put it through 311. All right.
Okay.
And then you can follow with that notice and ask for Cedric Kirkendall. He's over demolition, and see about the number. You'll get a number for your concern, and you can always follow it up with his name. Cedric
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
Hey, Councilman Julian again.
Yes, sir.
I missed what you were saying to Miss Shirley about
about demolition.
Yes.
Okay. If you we have a new young lady that is actually working the phones for City Hall at the front desk. If you call her and you say, I'd like to be connected to demolition, ask for Cedric Kirkendall. But first, remember, you got to always start with 311. Put the concern in first.
Okay. Right? How do you spell Cedric's last name? Kirkendall.
Kirkendall. Let's see. Who can help me with that? Janice, can you help me with that?
K-U-Y.
Janice?
She's muted.
She's muted.
Right.
Okay. I'll look it up.
I
If
know that
it's on the website, I'll look it up.
Okay.
I think it's Kirkendall. I think that's how it's spelled.
Kirkendall?
Yeah.
No, it would be K-U-Y.
K-U-Y.
Yeah, it starts off with
D-E-N.
D-A-L-L.
D-A-L-L. Okay.
He's also a chef, isn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Councilman, is there any plans to pave any more residential streets in Glen Park?
And
right now,
Washington is a mess.
Right now, we're doing hot patching, and in the wintertime, of course, we have to do cold patching. We still got time to hit the streets and get the potholes with the hot patching. As far as paving entire streets, we got to wait until the new budget comes in, and we're working on the budget as we speak now. So we're probably looking at bringing in some new paving, say around 2021. Be able to actually address those streets that need to be repaved.
Can I get my wheel tax money back?
I'm sorry, Mr. Osborne.
Can I get my wheel tax money back?
Can you get your wheel tax money back?
Yeah, it's not paying for anything.
Your wheel tax money is working for you, so.
I don't see it.
Give me a chance. I just started working with it.
Councilman, I just wanted to let you know his name, Kirkendall's name is spelled K-U-Y-K-E-N-D-A-L-L for the person who needed that information.
That's what I said.
Yeah, great.
Thank you.
Councilman Williams, this is Cheryl Lear on 38th in Ohio.
Yes.
Do you by any chance know the status on Howell Park? They tore everything down in the back last year. It was supposed to have been remodeled and named after Roosevelt Allen Jr. So do you know what's going on with that?
I'll be meeting with, I'm trying to set up a meeting this week or next week with County Commissioner Cal Allen. Because the county is helping us with that project to see where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hi, Councilman Dwight. This is Ebony. I'm back on. I was talking to you not too long ago.
Yes.
Okay. You was going to give me your phone number. I'm in my house now.
Oh, okay. Ready?
Yes.
Area code 312.
Yes.
342.
Okay.
6695.
6695. Okay. Okay. And also, I had a question. I live next to a field I've been taking care of like the last 10 years. And I want to know, who do I talk to about that property? And where do I go?
Okay. That was last month's district meeting. I remember the name of that program. It's with Bellman, I believe. Julian.
Yes.
Do you remember the name of that program that from last month's community meeting for the property? If you owned a house and you take your property next door to you.
Oh.
It's the side lot project. The side lot project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot who's over that. I have to go look at my notes.
So, young lady, if you call down to City Hall.
Hey, City Hall. Okay.
And ask for someone, you want to speak to someone that is over the side lot projects.
Side lot
project.
Okay.
And they'll connect you to that person. They'll fill you in.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
You.
No problem.
Councilman, I have a couple things.
Yes,
one, sir. I just want to invite those of you in the 6th District who are part of the Junedale area that there is a Junedale Block Club, 51st Avenue West Junedale Block Club. We meet normally before COVID. It was every 2 weeks, the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of the month. And the plan, we may end up having a meeting next Saturday, which is the 4th Saturday. I'm not sure yet, because we're supposed to also have a bike ride on the bike trail. So if you want to get in touch with me, I'm the president, Julian Carr, 219-359-8533. And I can get you some information of whether we're going to have the meeting or the bike trail ride.
Could you repeat your name and number?
Julian, Julian. Last name is Carr, Carr. Phone number is 219-359-8533.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And also, second thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you can finish yours.
The next thing I wanted to know was, Miss Dolores Caraway Gibson, where are you at with the sunny background? And
okay. I'm like hating on her right now.
Right.
On the beach somewhere.
Definitely not Marquette Park.
I'll see a palm tree. Okay, let me see. Are you in Florida or Hawaii? Come on now, girl.
Hawaii.
They sure were.
You had the nerve, the gall to do this to us.
101 Glen Park Avenue.
I do have one community announcement I'd like to make.
Mm-hmm.
I am working with the
YWCA
of Northwest. I'm sorry, I'm getting pushed back.
Shirley? Okay, we have someone.
Yes.
Can you mute your phone for a second, Shirley?
Yes, I will. Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, so my community announcement is not necessarily restricted to the 6th district. However, I am working with the 100th anniversary celebration, the centennial celebration of the YWCA of Northwest Indiana. So I will be reaching out to Councilman Williams and others to help support that effort. The YWCA turns 100 years. Some of you who are from Gary may have even been a part of the Y-Teens. So there will be a virtual gala celebrating the 100 years of the YWCA of Northwest Indiana. And I look forward to your supporting their good efforts in terms of empowering girls and women in this country.
So, Ms. Lauren, do you have a date for that?
Yes, the virtual gala will be on Saturday, October 31st. Now, some of you may notice on your calendar that happens to be Halloween. I don't care about Halloween. Never have. Never even like going trick-or-treating. But again, I'm a Chicagoan, so there was that effort to trick-or-treat. Nonetheless, it's a worthy effort to support the programs that the YWCA offers to our Gary residents. They are the only facility in Gary that has an indoor pool that qualifies firemen, lifeguards, and others for training at that facility on West 15th Avenue. So I'm just putting it out there for you. I will follow up with their fundraising efforts in the near future. It is Saturday, October 31st. It's a gala, a virtual gala for fundraising efforts, and I hope to count on your support.
And your last name, ma'am?
Hamer, H-A-M.
Okay, you did tell us that. Okay, thank you.
You, Lauren?
H-A-M-E-R. Yes, sir.
Can you, is the flyer sent to a PDF that you can text it to me?
I'm sorry, repeat your question, sir.
Is the flyer set to a PDF that you could send it to me in a text message?
As soon as I receive it, I will certainly direct it to your attention.
Thank you.
And you're welcome, and thank you all.
Okay, everyone, it is 8 o'clock. Well, 3 minutes to 8 o'clock. if there aren't any more concerns, let's adjourn this meeting. And Janice did give you the date for the next meeting, and you will get information on that for next month.
What's the date of the next meeting?
It's October 15th, right, Janice?
Yes, it is October 15th. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Same
Next
time.
meeting, October 15th. Thank you.
6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
We're talking every third Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Councilman. We truly appreciate your time.
Yeah.
And your patience.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Millie, I'll see you tomorrow.
Millie is gone for the day.
Yeah.
Enforcer Hinkle's here, though.
Thank you, Brandon.
I'll probably be the one that's going to come over tomorrow.
See you, sorors.
All right.
Take
Bye.
care.
Good night.
Say, wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wash
Wear
your
your
hands.
mask. Wear your mask.
Yes.
Fill out the census and
Good
get
night.
the vote. Your life depends on it.
Mr. Morris,
It does.
enjoy your time in the sun.
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.